All right. Another game that is suddenly very impactful and meaningful and exciting. The Miami Dolphins, who followed a 7-game losing streak with a 7-game winning streak. First time ever in NFL history a team has had a 7-game losing streak and a 7-game winning streak in the same season.
It's amazing.
They take it to Nashville, which will be the toughest game they've had so far. Hey, they drew a lucky card on Monday night against Ian Book and the New Orleans Saints that had 22 guys on COVID reserve. Now they're going into Tennessee. Titans team that is very good.
Yep.
Titans team that's trying to enhance its standing in the AFC field. And Ryan Tannehill is waiting for the team that made him the 8th overall pick in the draft back in 2012 and that eventually cast him overboard, paying a big chunk of his salary to get him off the books and get him to Tennessee in 2019. Here he is from yesterday talking about facing his old team.
As far as people, there's not a whole lot of people left, players left that were there. There was a few guys, handful of guys that are still on the team, but there's been a lot of turnover there. So not a big carryover of guys. But, yeah, thankful for my time there and, have no ill feelings towards Miami.
And you know what? He shouldn't. They made him the 8th overall pick. They gave him a 4-year, $77 million contract, even though it wasn't clear that he deserved to have the big contract. He never really became the guy that he became in Tennessee. And one of the reasons is just as he was starting to ascend, it's been 5 years ago, 2016.
Yeah.
Late in that season, he took a low hit from Calais Campbell, who was then at the Cardinals, and it gave him the partially torn ACL.
Right.
And we had the conversation, should they do the surgery, not do the surgery. They decided not to do the surgery, and then early in training camp in 2017, the ACL goes kaflooey. They get Jay Cutler. They brought him back for one more year, and then after that, Tannehill was gone. So it was circumstance, and it was the fact that he was never as good in Miami as he's become in Tennessee. So there's no reason for him to be mad. They paid him a crap load of money to be the Dolphins quarterback and never really earn it with his play on the field.
No, I get that. Again, I'll go back to, a tale as old as time, okay, here. Again, what in Miami was so special that we thought he was supposed to just dominate and kick butt? I mean, those teams weren't that good. That would be the first thing I'd always fight back again with people, and you heard me fight with those kind of words before. Again, he was the reason or one of the main reasons they got to the playoffs that year, and, he couldn't play, and Matt Moore played against Pittsburgh in that wild card football game there. But, you're right. He has no right to be mad at the organization. Now, if I was Ryan Tannehill, I would love to shove it up all the Miami Dolphin fans. You know what, though? Shove it where the sun don't shine, because there was not great respect. I mean, in fact, the Miami fans way more respect Tua, who's done nothing, than they did. Here we go. Yeah, sorry. Oh, eat it, Tua-non. Eat it, Tua-non. Eat it. And no, so that's where I just go, he never had the support of the fan base, let alone he had a teammate who had a wife who constantly, if he made a mistake, liked to just crap all over him, And then that teammate went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where Jameis Winston threw interceptions every other play, and we never heard the wife say one damn thing. So he had a lot of people piling on him down there in Miami. That bothers me. It does bother me, and that's where I hope he has a good game, is not necessarily to stick it to the Dolphins, but to stick it to the Miami Dolphins fan base.
She could have always baked him a cake as a peace offering.
Yeah, I mean, that was some BS, that whole that thing. I mean, really, I want to go off on that, but I'll stop there. I remember the cake. I got
maybe,
it.
maybe.
The great cake.
Maybe. No. Trust me. If you're avoiding certain parts of the bed when you're on the road, you're not eating that cake. Let me say this, though. Maybe Tua-non is a product of a deep-seated concern, guilt, regret by Dolphins fans that they didn't appreciate Ryan Tannehill while they had him. Maybe Tua-non is a reflection that there should have been a Tannehill years ago.
Maybe.
And there never really was a group of fans that rallied around Ryan Tannehill. So it's kind of like the boomerang effect. So now they rally around unreasonably Tua Tagovailoa. I don't know.
Yeah.
But look, I'm trying to placate Tua by looking for the good in Tua.
Yeah, I'm all for looking for the good in Tua, but I want to tell Tua to shove it up where the sun don't shine.
Oh, I know you do.
I don't give a damn about any of those idiots, all right? That's what I know.
Now, what happens when we've established that repeatedly? What happens when Miami shows up with the 7 or 8 guys at the line of scrimmage, and we don't know who's blitzing, we don't know it's not. What are they going to do in Nashville when Julio Jones went on the COVID list? Not that he's been a factor for the team this year. A.J. Brown was great last week. Yeah. They don't have Derrick Henry. What's Ryan Tannehill going to do when he's looking across and he doesn't know who's blitzing and who's going to drop into coverage?
No doubt about it. That's going to be one of the keys to the football game. I mean, that's the Dolphins right now. That's their bread and butter. Their defense is what makes their football team. They make so many plays. They put you under so much stress, like we've broken down before with all those crazy looks. Now, the one thing I'll always say about the Titans and a Mike Vrabel coach football team, they always got a plan of attack. They're always prepared. They might mess up and make a mistake, but it's not because oh, wait, we don't know how to handle that blitz, or we don't know how to block this run, or we don't know how to defend this pass from this offense. That's never the case down in Tennessee. So this is where it is the first true test to me, as far as the Dolphins are concerned through this win streak. This is the first one where you go into the game. I know we had the Ravens game, and that was the beginning of this whole little run. And, they caught the Ravens by surprise. And as we see now, and I know they were injured, but we were questioning then, at least I was, how good are the Ravens really anyways at that time? But this is the first game where there's a little bit of a microscope on the matchup itself. Because, yes, the Titans are going to have a plan. A.J. Brown, like you said, he's back. And he was special last week, and he's only going to be better physically this week. So they're going to have to be careful about, do you really want to leave guys on an island with him with no safety in the middle of the field? He's as big a play wide receiver as there is in football. Julio, it's a little better every week. It's not great right now, but it's at least he's out there. And I know he came out of the game last week too. So that's where it'll be different in the fact that the Dolphins defense is going to see a plan of attack that makes sense with those type of looks. And Tua and company are going to play a defense that are going to have answers for, read option. Read option. RPO, let me throw it a foot in the flat over there. RPO, let me throw it 4 feet in front of me in the middle. They're going to have plans for that. And this, to me, is where the real test to see how good Miami is, really.
And the Titans currently the number 2 seed in the AFC. They clinched the AFC South with a victory. That's how important that win last Thursday night over San Francisco was.
Big.
It'd be a race to the finish line between the Titans and the Colts if the Titans had lost that game. But they've got it right in their grasp, and it's amazing to think that without Derrick Henry, they've managed to weather the storm, and they're holding out hope they're going to get him back at some point. That's the one big caveat on the AFC playoff field. If Derrick Henry returns to the fray
Yikes.
And is truly healthy, not just healthy enough to play, but healthy enough to be Derrick Henry, that shakes up everything in the AFC, and we could have round 3 of the Titans and the Colts at some point, maybe in the AFC Championship by the time it's all said and done.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, again, Tennessee, of course I wouldn't be shocked if they were in the AFC Championship. No doubt about it. You're right. Derrick Henry, he comes back, it changes the game if he is close to 100%. They can still get there without him, but they need the receivers to be healthy. That's the thing. They've shown the ability for the most part. I think they'll be able to run the ball effectively enough in the playoffs to where you have to worry about it. And, of course, that's where it becomes dangerous on the outside. Tannehill is a phenomenal thrower of the football. He really is. And if he's got a lane to throw it or somebody's open, I mean, he's going to hit the bullseye. He is that type of quarterback. And that's where, Derrick Henry or not, as long as A.J. Brown's healthy and you got Julio over there that's at least some sort of a presence, it's still going to be a pain in the butt to defend them in that offense.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.